the last three episodes, I shared with you that your greatest gift is probably still inside of you. And if you want to go back and listen and watch what I share of that gift that we so often hold back. Sometimes we are not even aware of it. And let me tell you, the graveyards are filled with so much brilliance, I would say, so much genius, so much uniqueness, so much incredibly unique abilities, capabilities, everything buried because the person maybe waited too long or never really believed it was important enough, or for whatever reason. Do not wait. The time is now to discover your gift and then connect with it and make something of it. You can even create a new income from that gift that maybe you still haven't discovered yet. And sometimes other people know even better what that gift is than you, because for you, whatever you are so prolific at and so great at, it feels normal, right? Not a big deal, but to others it is. And that's why sometimes we need help for somebody else to see our blind spots and help us discover the brilliance and the amazing woman we are, covered in all of these limiting beliefs, right? So today I want to start something that is actually a reason why so many, especially women, but men as well, but we talk about women here, don't live from their greatest gift, from their brilliance, from what really makes them so uniquely different and amazing and beautiful, and then they don't realize it. And here is the one thing that, number one, there are others, but number one, that prevents you from even going there and developing your gift is fear, right? Yes, and I want to talk a little bit about fear today. And fear, I believe, is it's almost a spiritual thing, because you know, when it is in the whole realm of what we believe, right? And so it is that which you cannot touch. You cannot touch fear, right? It's not a thing. Even though sometimes it feels like a thing inside of us, because it can be burning and sharp like a knife. But anyway, let me just give you a little bit of intro in what happened to me a little bit more than 40 years ago when I came to the Bahamas. Yes, it was in 78. So yes, that's more than 40 years ago. I never forget how, you know, the Bahamas is pristine. The air is beautiful, clean. We don't have industries here. There are no smokestacks, right? The ocean is beautiful and turquoise. So I connected deeply with nature. And also I was in a pursuit to discover a more spiritual meaning in my life. So I was in the right place because it was all around me. But then I studied the old wisdom teachings from the ancient masters of Tibet and studied with many of today's thought leaders like Neil Donald Walsh, Greg Hamilton, John Assaraf, Brendan Bouchard, Greg Braden, Dr. Bruce Lipton, an amazing doctor, and especially the last two, Greg Braden and Dr. Bruce Lipton, really have brought spirituality and science together. So now we understand it so much more, because I come from the spiritual path. I studied Reiki about 30 years ago, and it was always the spiritual, as if it was separated from science. But today, it has come together so beautifully. And then, of course, I also studied holistic health, yoga, meditation, energy healing, especially through Reiki, and also evolutionary sciences with Barbara Max Hubbard, an amazing woman and luminary. And I'm so sad that she left us a couple of years ago. I mean, she was high in age, but I'm getting there too. But anyway, I had an amazing mentor in her, and I studied evolutionary processes, illumined evolution. Anyway, over the span of the last 25 years, this brought to me a profound understanding of what life is all about, who we are and why we are here, especially at this critical time in history. I believe everybody who is born in the last, I was born 76 years ago. So our time was so much different right after the Second World War. And then there was this time of being free, and it was an abundant time. And today everything is so restricted. But anyway, let me just not go on tangents here. But in my profession as a holistic practitioner, I have seen in my clients how fear prevented so many opportunities for health and healing, prohibited success in their business, in their relationships, and also stifled their financial independence because of it. I could see more and more clearly that even with my best nutritional and health advice, many of my clients, after they went, after they didn't see me anymore, after they stopped their coaching with me, and very often it was a short coaching, because people always think, oh, I only need a little bit of help and then I will be good on my own. But you know what happens? So many reverted back to their old and unhealthy habits. So it's almost like bathing. Yes, you need to do it every day because it doesn't last. And so it is with habits until they are really, you have really let go or replaced the good habits for the not so good or really bad habits. The ones that you have been done longer will always try to come back. They are powerful because they have built roots within your system, and those roots are strong. You know how it is if you have a garden, if you have things you don't want there, and you try to pull them up, unless you get the roots as well, it comes back, right? It comes back. So that's how it is with our habits as well, especially the bad habits. So by watching this in my clients, it became very clear to me that fear was a major factor in keeping us stuck and often even paralyzed. So it took me some time until even I would finally let go of all of my fears. I mean, fears will always be there. You can let go of them, but you cannot eradicate them. You cannot just say, okay, starting from tomorrow, I'm not going to have fear anymore. That's not how it works. But when I fully understood and realized what was real and what was an illusion, I mean, when I finally started to trust that inner, that's much more quiet inner voice, and accepted it as my own wisdom, the divine wisdom of my soul, I could lastly let go of fear whenever I became aware of it. When it showed up and I knew, okay, here, my old friend, here you are again, but let me do something about this right now. You see? But you can recognize its characteristics and put it into a place, right? Put it fear into its place. Sounds easy, yeah? But it takes awareness, and like everything else, it takes practice. I wrote a chapter in the book, Women Living Consciously. And in that chapter, I share a very personal story that relates to this. For example, I feared abandonment in my relationships. So I left first. I feared that I might not be meeting my soulmate. So I left unfulfilled and kept searching until I realized that the true soulmate already exists, already resides within me, as well as in anybody else. I have reached a deep understanding about the illusions and also the realities. And I have a passion to share my knowledge about how to let go of fear, because today, oh my goodness, it's so high again, riddled with fear. I know that I have an important message for the world, and I am only a messenger, right? You are a messenger too, we all are. Yet I came with my gift just like everybody else, like you bring your special gift that you came that you brought into your lifetime with. And those gifts usually stay hidden until we dare to discover it, live it, and share it. Sometimes people know what their gifts are because they are so focused on just one thing, and they don't want anything else. And then they become incredibly outstanding in it. I mean, we know it from athletes. You know, if you train to win an Olympic gold medal, that's what you have to focus on. You have to eat it, you have to sleep it, you have to breathe it, you have to not do anything else but focus on that one goal. And but usually, you know, for us who really don't have this one track focus, there can be so many things. There can be so many things that we are good at. I know I am good at many things. So I don't think I will ever be prolific at just one thing, because there is too much I love to do. And as you probably know, I'm a relationship coach. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm a spiritual teacher. So I have ventured out in three different, but I believe they are all connected, professions. And I believe they all are a piece of what is important in our life. Okay, so sometimes people ask me, so how do you live a fearless life? Why is living a fearless life so important, so critical, so necessary? You see, change occurs faster and faster. It is all around us, right? In nature, of course, change is consistent because it has a cycle. And within us, especially in us women, we know the change. We have our female cycles, right? We are, but throughout the world, right now, we are at a critical time when we must choose how we want to live. It is not only important for you and I, but I believe it is important globally. We all need to make a choice. Do you feel this? What's going on in the world? Do you feel how important it is to make a choice that is in alignment with your core values? Yes, we will talk much more about this in other episodes. But today I want to talk so much more about fear, right? That we have evolved to a more conscious human. Throughout history, evolution just keeps on evolving, right? But our environment really suffers, as do still too many people all over the world. Greed and fear are on the rise and hold us hostage. But we know now more than ever before about who we are, right? Self-development is not new to us anymore, like it was 50 years ago. Nobody knew what self-development was. But today we know the discovery of who we truly are has been available to us for quite a while, right? And so we also know that we need to come together to create a better world. All of us are needed to give birth to a new understanding, a new consciousness, a new awareness. Yes? Unity, oneness, and caring for each other and our environment are the only way to move forward. The only way to move forward, I believe. Otherwise, we may not survive. Ignorance and fear holds us back. And since it is a primal leftover instinct, it's within our cellular memory, the reptilian part of our brain, this stem, we are drawn more to what is wrong than what is beautiful and what is right. You can see it on the first page of every newspaper. The news is always coming up with not, oh my God, something beautiful happened. No, something horrible happens. You can see it everywhere. Many authorities, including governments, even play on our, I would almost say, addiction to fear in order to keep us small and predictable. It sounds strong, our addiction to fear. But what is it that when you see something horrific that attracts you so much? It creates an anxiety, it creates that fear. But sometimes some people love that feeling. I don't. I don't know if you love it. But here are three things that I know for sure. Fear robs your freedom. Fear steals your happiness, and fear is a barrier to peace in your home, peace within you, peace in the world. Well, it's actually peace within you. That's where it starts. Peace in your family, peace in your community, and peace in a larger way in the world. Through global unity in our common values, which are more and less the same for each of us, right? We can and must create a better world. And fear cannot be part of a new awakened human. No, it cannot. Fear will always be there, but then we know how to deal with fear, right? We can put it in its place. Therefore, I believe the time has come to boldly step out of fear and into who we really are. We are not our body, but a very powerful, immortal spirit, which has chosen and inhabits this body for this lifetime. My spirit, my body, your spirit, your body. Embrace that. There is such a profound reason why your spirit chose the time of your birth, your family, your body, for a very specific reason that only you can really live through and share. So I also get asked this question a lot. Why do I have such a passion helping others around the issue of fear? It's because I see how destructive fear is, and I'm sure you see it too. Just watch the news. And look at crime, addictions, injustice. All are fueled by fear. My desire to wake up as many people as possible, to create a happier life and participate in bringing in a new human consciousness of unity, peace, joy, abundance. The whole world needs it, right? I believe that women are the pillars of a new consciousness and therefore must lead the way. And this is the reason why my focus is primarily to empower women. And I know how fear can stifle us. There is a primal fear within all of us. The first, the first shock really occurred when we were pushed out of our mother's warm, cozy womb. We were separated from her. How could we have known that it was necessary to be born into this world? But we also carry a cellular memory left over from ancient times. Our ancestors had to rely on a strong fear instinct in order to survive. That was good then. They survived. And therefore, you and I are here now. Yes, thank you, ancestors. Thank you for every horrific accident that was maybe could have cut your life short, were avoided by your fear instinct. So there is a place for it and that is still valid today, of course. But we don't need to rely on primal fear much anymore, because we live from a deeper understanding about life now. Through the evolutionary process, and especially in the last 100 years, our capability to protect ourselves is enormous compared to the times of our ancestors. We have stronger habitats, houses, and also more easily available food, right? Clothing and other life-protecting measures. Obviously, predators do not chase us anymore, nor do we have to kill a foreign tribe member to survive, right? I mean, war is still out there, and that's really what war is. But we can live in a rather safe world if we choose. But today there are mental predators. This and the cellular leftover of our primal fear still prevent us from living in harmony and peace. But I know that I can help people to see and understand what fear is and what it is not. It is painful for me to see the strangling and destructive forces of fear and how it can prevent so many women from living a healthy, happy, and abundant life. Not just women, everybody, but we talk about women here on this platform, Win-Win Women. I often hear people struggling with facing their fears. You don't have to struggle if you can see what fear is. Fear tries to hold you imprisoned only as long as you cannot see the truth. I have a passion to help people to connect with who they really are, align with their inner intelligence, and finally let go of their panicking thoughts and feelings about things that are their imagination, are not real. There are three most common mistakes we make that prevent us from living a fearful. The first mistake is that we identify with our ego. The ego always holds you back or pulls you back again if you dare to create positive change for yourself. The ego is stuck in the status quo. It is fearful and believes that you must fight for everything. For your food, for the goods, for recognition, for wealth, for how you want to be seen by others, for everything. But that's not the case. The ego believes it though, and tells you those things that go on in your head, right? Your ego constantly judges everything by what it can lose. Everything bad that ever happened to you or anywhere around you in your life, even if you were not consciously aware of it, is recorded within your subconscious mind. And the ego picks it up. It picks up that data when it is triggered by something that is similar, right? Your ego gives you the illusion of safety as long as you don't change anything. Why is that? Because you are alive right now. And that is all that is important to your ego. It doesn't want you to be extremely happy or fulfilled. None of that is really a primal instinct. Surviving is, but surviving is not good enough anymore, right? And the second mistake is you believe and buy into 3 key areas of where fear keeps you stuck. These 3 areas are total illusion, imaginations of your mind, right? Fear prevents you from taking positive action when that comes up, and maybe even follow your bliss, because you may not believe it. You may say, oh my God, this cannot be real. So you go into negativity and then you destroy everything that was about to come to you. Do you know what the 3 key illusions really are? Let me tell you, all of us know them very well, but sometimes we forget. The first one is fear of failure, right? In that category is also the fear of not being good enough. And it seems as if it couldn't be, but there is fear of success. Why? Because it creates, when you have success, your life changes, and the changes and responsibilities that it brings with it is something that your ego does not really want, because it may want it, but then it doesn't want to change the status quo, because the fear comes up that of the unknown. And that's really the third fear, the fear of the unknown. And that includes fear of disease. And the last thing, fear of death. Your ego is connected to your fearful mind. And if you listen, act, and rely on your mind alone, you will stay stuck in those fear-based illusions. Okay, so I only have 1 minute left. Mistake number 3 is that you do not realize that you are actually much more than your soul, much more than your body. You are your soul. Believing that you are your body will keep you trapped in ignorance, smallness. And again, it is your ego that holds you prisoner to your limited mind. So in the next episode, we are going to speak about the opposite of fear. What is the opposite of fear? Yes, the opposite of fear is love. So until I see you again next time,